This is solving a word problem using a quadratic equation with irrational roots. You may see it show up first in homework 1, but it could, Alex is kind of funny, you could see it show up in later homeworks too. So quadratic equation means you're going to be seeing something squared. It also means that we're going to be able to use the quadratic formula if we want. So it says a ball is thrown from a height of 44 meters with an initial downward velocity of 6 meters per second. The ball's height, h in meters after t seconds, is given by the following. H equals 44 minus 6t minus 5t squared. So this is all you really need to know. This is kind of telling you where the 6 and the 44 come from. I don't know where the 5, well, yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, so how long after the ball is thrown does it hit the ground? So it says how long after the ball is thrown. How long is asking for time. So we're asking to find the value of t, how many seconds, when it hits the ground. So if it hits the ground, its height would be 0 meters, right? So we want to know what is the number of seconds for the h to be 0. So we need to set this equation equal to 0. So 0 equals 44 minus 6t minus 5t squared. Now, it's a good idea to look at this and see if you can maybe simplify things. This one's out of order, so at the very least we'd want to rearrange our terms. I really do not like having to deal with a quadratic equation that has a negative squared term. So I would either factor a -1 out, or, this may seem like more work, but this is how I think of it. I'm going to actually just move all my terms to the left. So I'm going to add 5t squared to both sides, and then I'm going to add 6t to both sides, and then I should subtract 44. So it just switches all the signs on my terms. Okay, so to me that's just way easier to deal with. I don't know why, it's just a thing. So we could try and factor this, but I don't want to. That 44, no. So let's use the quadratic formula. So we need to work out that a is 5, b is 6, and c is -44. And then we're going to plug into the quadratic formula. So that is t equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let me come over here. T equals, okay, so b is 6, so we're going to have -6 plus or minus square root 6 squared minus 4 times 5 times -44 all over 2 times 5. So now we need to simplify some stuff. We need to do the 2 times the 5, and most importantly, get this down to a single number. And so if you wanted to, you could probably put this, the stuff that's under the square root, the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, put that into your calculator. But you can also kind of do it, a little at a time, or work it out on your paper, whatever. Okay, I'm going to just try and multiply this stuff out. So these two minus signs are going to become positive, right? This is going to be a 36, and then I'm going to have plus whatever this all multiplies out to. So 4 times 5 times 44 is 880. So I'm going to be a little, go a little more slowly. So we've got -6 plus or minus square root 36 plus, because of 2 minus signs, 880 all over 10. And then 36 plus 880 is 916. Now, can we, I wonder if that, I don't think, no, okay. I wonder if I can go back. Well, it's 960. So negative 6 plus or minus square root 916 all over 10. Now let's look at what they wanted us to do with our answer. Round your answers to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we don't need to bother with like trying to simplify the square root or anything like that. We're going to now just type in each of these two values. So we have negative 6 plus square root of 916 over 10, comma, negative 6 minus square root of 916 over 10. So we're going to just do those one at a time in the calculator and see what we get. Now, if you have a better calculator than that Windows one I was using, probably is going to be easier to use that. I'm loading mine up right now. Oh goodness. I got a lot going on over here. Okay, let me clear this out. I wonder if I can get rid of some of this stuff. Hide. Okay, and maybe if we make this a little bigger, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, so negative 6 plus square root of 916. Okay, put all of that in parentheses. So negative 6 plus second square root 916. And then I have to arrow out. You may need another parentheses. And then close parentheses divided by 10. Enter. Okay, 2.426, blah, blah, blah. So if we round to the nearest hundredth, we're going to write down 2.43. So we'll go ahead and put that here, 2.43. And then let's do the one with the minus sign. So I'm going to do second enter to get the entry that we just did. And I'm going to change that plus sign to a minus. Okay. And we get negative 3.63. Now, remember, we're talking about how many seconds does it take for this ball to hit the ground. It's not going to go back in time, right? So that negative answer is not a reasonable answer. So the only answer that's reasonable is the 2.43. So 2.43 seconds is what you would put into Alex.